Now let's begin.
3, 2, 1.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? They're dead!
I don't wanna. I don't wanna.
Debating. Activating. Microphone. 3, 2, 1.
Thizzle.
I made you something.
She tastes like trouble. With an attitude to boot. In Robert Rodriguez, Planet Terror.
Alright, y'all, it's your boy Fro, and I'm currently fighting a bit of a cold. I'm at the end of it right now, but I haven't been able to drop reviews as much as I wanted to. But I said, I'm feeling a bit better, might as well keep the train rolling. So today, I'm going to be focusing on the 2007 flick Planet Terror, directed by Robert Rodriguez. Now, Planet Terror is one half of the double feature Grindhouse selection. Death Proof is directed by Tarantino, and Planet Terror is Rodriguez. But overall, this whole Grindhouse package is very nostalgic to me. Now, I love the fake trailers that are in between, directed by Edgar Wright, one of my favorite filmmakers. The Rob Zombie one I'm not a big fan of, but I do love the Eli Roth Thanksgiving segment. I do like how Machete first started off as a fake trailer with Danny Trejo and Robert Rodriguez, and went on later to be the actual film made in 2010. I do want to review Death Proof sometime later, but the reason I want to focus on Planet Terror so much right now is because it's my personal favorite out of these two. I think, in my opinion, Planet Terror is way more enjoyable than Death Proof. But again, that's just personal Fro preference. I think Planet Terror is a bunch of fun. It's everything that I want in a Grindhouse, gory, throwback, gritty type of flick, injected with a ton of very goofy humor, if you will. I do really enjoy the dialogue. It's very snappy, very snarky. From every character, Cherry Darling, El Rey, the Sheriff, JT, everybody has quotables in this film. Overall, we have a pretty solid cast in Planet Terror. We have Freddy Rodriguez kicking ass as El Rey, and he has a lot of dope action sequences. Rose McGowan, for the most part, has always struck me as a meh kind of actress, but I think this is her shining moment. I do like her character in this film, Cherry Darling. I like the machine gun attached to her leg later on in the film, without too many spoilers. But I do enjoy her character and her performance here, and I think it fits well with the campiness of the film. I do love Jeff Fahey's performance as, I believe his character's name is JT, but he plays the crazy barbecue owner guy who says his barbecue's the best in Texas, and he later on becomes a badass. He has his own arsenal of weapons and his selection of vehicles and that are pretty kick-ass. So I would say he's probably my favorite character in the film. Jeff Fahey, I think, steals the show. And I do love Michael Biehn as his brother, the cop, or the sheriff of the town. When we're first introduced to him, he's trying to go after El Rey. He has him handcuffed in the beginning. He sees him as a criminal. But eventually, Michael Biehn's character bands together with El Rey to fight the zombies. We also have the late, great Michael Parks, who's one of my favorite actors. He comes back playing the Texas Ranger character that he's played in From Dusk Till Dawn and other films as well. But I think he kicks ass. He has a limited screen time, but he still leaves an impression for me when he pops up. Man, rest in peace, Michael Parks. Very underrated actor. We also have smaller roles from Tom Savini, the legendary makeup practical effects artist. And I believe this guy's name is Carlos Gallardo. And he plays the mariachi in the first El Mariachi film, also directed by Robert Rodriguez, his debut film. We have Marley Shelton and Josh Brolin playing a couple, and Josh Brolin's a scumbag in this film. He's abusive. He's beating on his wife and going crazy and injecting her with fucking needles. And I can see if it's pretty hard to watch for some people with these sequences between these two, but I think Josh Brolin does a good job playing a scumbag in here, a very slimy guy. And Bruce Willis is in this movie, but I would say for maybe 2, 3, or 4 minutes total screen time out of the whole film. And that is a throwback to how certain films back in the day would cast a big actor and have them right on the poster but realistically, they only have maybe 5 minutes of screen time. So I get why Rodriguez made this choice. And Bruce Willis, I think, is a dope actor. He's one of my favorite actors. So it is pretty cool to see him pop up. I just wish that he had a little bit more to do. But I'm not mad at the choice. It is cool to see Bruce in this film. Naveen Andrews from the Lost TV series is in this film. And he does a good job playing a slimy character as well. He plays the scientist. That's a pretty big reason of why this is popping off in the first place. In the beginning of the film, we see him having confrontations or being held hostage by these group of soldiers led by Bruce Willis. And Naveen Andrews' character, he shoots the tanks that lets off the gas into the air and starts transforming people in the town. So in a way, Naveen Andrews' character does start the plague, or he's a big reason of why it's happening. I almost forgot. Fucking Fergie is in this movie. Yeah, Fergie from Black Eyed Peas. Spoilers for people who haven't seen the film. 1, 2, 3. She does not last long. She only has like 3 minutes of screen time in this movie before she gets ripped apart by zombies. We even see her skull open and they ate her brains and shit. One thing I forgot to mention, Quentin Tarantino's cameo in this movie. It's fucking bonkers. He plays a very, very, very creepy guy. Long story short, pretty much a rapist, and he's going after Cherry Darling's character. He's almost successful until his fate ends in a very grotesque and well-deserving way. Before he gets his nuts shot off by Cherry Darling's machine gun leg, he starts turning and mutating into this very nasty-looking zombie. So his character overall is just very, very grotesque, but hey, decent job from Tarantino. Not a bad, I would say not a bad performance. Moving on to the makeup and the practical effects, I think the gore overall is awesome. It's nearly a 10 out of 10 for me, if not a 10 out of 10. I can see some people saying the gore in this film is too over the top, too grotesque, too nasty. I can agree with you, but I love it. I have no problem with it. And I think I enjoy the shit out of it, especially with this grindhouse feeling, this throwback to the 70s where we had a lot of films that made us either cringe or go like, oh man, that's disgusting. But I'm a sucker for that type of stuff. And I get my fix with Planet Terror. Planet Terror might be one of the most grossest, grotesque films ever when it comes to gore. It is really nasty, especially in certain sequences. Despite all the headshots and all the guts getting pulled out, intestines and organs and blood and gore, the one scene or the moment that makes me quease or makes me feel like, is when Josh Brolin's doctor character comes across the patient that he was treating earlier. He's turned into a zombie. He comes up to Josh Brolin. He plucks a big pimple off of his face and he smears it on Josh Brolin's face. And it's all over his mouth. So disgusting. I think that's easily the nastiest moment in the film. I do think the camera work looks very stylish. Despite how gritty and grainy the film is supposed to be, I still think it has a very cool looking aesthetic to it, if that's the right word. Especially during the action sequences, when certain characters are driving on cars or motorcycles and vehicles and they're shooting and wiping out zombies at the same time. Other action sequences like El Rey kicking ass in the hospital, or Cherry Darling later with her machine gun leg kicking ass in the finale. And I am a sucker for the grainy overall look of the film, when the bubbles or when the static little string lines come across the screen. I love that type of style. So overall, Grindhouse, Planet Terror, I enjoy more than Death Proof personally. I have From Dusk Till Dawn as my favorite Robert Rodriguez film, but it's a tie between Desperado and Planet Terror for the second favorite Rodriguez film of mine. But I'm a big fan. I've always been a big fan of Planet Terror. I have really cool memories watching this film as a kid, and I still enjoy it. I still have a great time. So I'm gonna give Planet Terror a 9.5 out of 10. Death Proof review sometime in the future. But that's it, y'all. It's your boy Fro. What do you think about Planet Terror? Do you hate it? Do you like it? Do you rock with it? Let me know thoughts. Comment below. And if you want to see more reviews, subscribe, leave a like, and a view. Until next time, Fro Thizzle, I'm out.
They're stealing biochemical weapons.
When the laws of science are broken, the last hope for humanity rests in the hands of a few. in Robert Rodriguez, Planet Terror.